Hello everyone, welcome to Drishti Judiciary. Uh, a very warm welcome to all of you and many congratulations on your recent CLAT attempt. Uh, the feedback that we people have received that this year CLAT paper was easy, so I congratulate all of you, right, that all the attempts that you have made were correct. However, you people must be very much anxious that what were the correct answers, right, to the questions that you have seen this year in your paper. So in this particular session, I'm going to discuss with you all the questions pertaining to logical reasoning. So without further ado, I'm not going to take much of your time, right, to discuss the solutions, right. So let's not make you wait. Let's talk about the questions. And in logical reasoning, first we had this passage: India is poised for rapid economic growth, potentially spurred by a young population driving production and demand. In the process, inevitably, lifestyles are being dramatically altered for the worst. India now reports the highest growth of ultra processed food consumption among the youth, as well as low levels of exercise and adequate sleep. Cultural changes, including smartphones and a preponderance of English in schools, are also associated with the weakened family relationships. Until recently, in the absence of extensive data, the role of these factors on mental well-being, encompassing our full range of mental capability, was not well understood. Recent findings, based on a large database of over 1,50,000 individuals in India, are beginning to shed light on the core relates of mental well-being among adolescents. The findings are dire. There is a silent epidemic of mental ill health in India. Previous studies have found that ownership of smartphones are frying the brain. Data also suggests that it is not merely the ownership of a phone, but also the early age of access that is associated with worse cognition and mental well-being as young adults. The young brain is developing and must be nurtured. These gadgets are handed to adolescents, presumably more out of convenience than sound logic. The American philosopher David Henry Thoreau remarked over 175 years ago, technology is an improved means to an unimproved end. This is an extreme position, but one worth mulling. India reports the highest growth in consumption of ultra processed foods. Some evidence suggests that these foods are as addictive as smoking. Recent data globally and from India shows a strong association between the consumption of ultra processed foods and poor mental well-being, particularly the capacities for emotional and cognitive control. And now, based on this passage, right, uh, what first question we had: based on the above passage, which of the following should be the most suitable title of the passage, right? So now we have to give the most suitable title of the passage. And if I talk about the passage was primarily focusing on how the lifestyle, right, how changes in lifestyle, including excessive smartphone usage, right, consumption of ultra processed foods, and cultural shifts, right, they impact your mental health. So the correct answer would be lifestyle and mental health. See, lifestyle and mental health, because economic growth and mental health, see, mental health was being talked about, but not economic growth, right? The examiner was focusing about the usage, the excessive uses of smartphone and consumption, right? Excessive consumption of ultra processed foods, right? That is impacting your mental and cultural shifts, right? That is impacting your mental health being. So it is about lifestyle and mental health, right? So option A will be correct, right? See, economic growth was being talked about, impact of technology was being talked about, but right, but that was not your central theme, right? That was not your central theme. He was talking about all of this, but that was not your central theme. The central theme was, right, high consumption of ultra processed foods, right, excessive uses of smartphone, right, which is impacting your mental health. So option A will be correct. Next, consider the given statement: technology is an improved means to an unimproved end. Which of the following closely reflects the meaning of the given statement? A. New technologies have to be accepted by primarily focusing on positive results. New technologies create a hindrance to the physical health of an individual. Poor mental health is a result of the invention of new technologies. New technologies should be looked upon with skepticism, considering negative impact. Right? Technology is an improved means to an unimproved end. So new technology should be looked upon with skepticism, considering negative impact. Right? Because see, like the statement itself says that technological advancements, uh, while making processes efficient, right, while they are making processes efficient, they might not lead to a meaningful or beneficial outcome, right? They might not lead to a meaningful or beneficial outcome, right? So option D would be correct, that new technology should be looked upon with skepticism, considering negative impact, because negative impact should be considered. He said that the statement says technology is an improved means, so that is going to make processes efficient, right, to an unimproved end that might not lead beneficial outcome, right? See, the author also highlights the negative impacts of early usage of, like, early access of smartphones, right, uh, to your mental health, right? To support this, examiner gave you the example that early access to smartphones, right, impact your mental health. It was given in the passage. See, data also suggests that it is not merely the ownership of a phone but also the early age of access that is associated with worse cognition and mental well-being as young adults, right? So for this question, option D will be the correct. Next one, which of the following statements strengthens the author's argument regarding the negative use of smartphone among the youth? Excessive use of smartphones may lead to weakened family relationships, right? See, in this part of the passage, he said cultural changes, including smartphones and preponderance of English in schools, are also associated with weakened family relationships. Right. So, if this particular option, right, statement would have been correct, it is going to strengthen the author's argument regarding the negative use of smartphones among the youth, that excessive use of smartphones may lead to weakened family relationships. Right. So, option A will be correct. So, like, it was directly from the passage, that would have been correct. Let's go to the next question. Which of the following can be plausible solution for a better mental well-being among the youth? Limiting the correlation between physical and mental health, limiting the research of on excessive use of smartphones, limiting the widespread consumption of ultra processed foods, limiting the informed use of smartphones across all ages of groups. See, plausible solution for mental well-being, right, would be that limiting the use of smartphones, right, across all ages groups, right? Because he clearly spoke about that excessive use of smartphones, early age access to smartphones, right, brings a negative impact on your mental health being. So if you are going to give them an informed use of smartphones, right, across all ages groups, right, that is going to be a plausible solution for better mental health being, right? Like, limited usage of smartphones should be encouraged. That's what passage was speaking about and the passage was focusing on, right? So that should be correct. All right, so now we have this question: which of the following statements by the author lacks credible evidence in the passage? Option A, excessive mobile usage linked to mental health issues. Providing mobiles to adolescents resulting in mental stress. Students learning that English language have weakened family relationships, inadequate sleep and junk food. Sir, in like as I remember in the passage, it spoke about the preponderance of English, that is importance of English in schools, right, are also associated. See, cultural change, including smartphones and preponderance of English in school, are also associated with weakened family relationships. But my passage did not provided a concrete evidence about option C, right? It did not provided a concrete evidence about this, right? Like to support this claim, right? The other options, they are supported by the data, like excessive mobile usage linked to mental health issues, providing mobiles to adolescents resulting in mental strain, right? So for other options, data was given to support them, but for option C, no supported data was given. So option C will be correct. That he's asking me, right, which of the following statements by the author lack credible evidence in the passage. So it was option C, right? Because he talked about the importance of English language in schools, but how it leads to weakened family relationships, no other support was given to it. So option C will be correct. Next one, these gadgets are handed to adolescents presumably more out of convenience than sound logic. What is the which of the following is the most suitable explanation echoed by the author as per the given statement? Right. So now in this question, logic prevails over reasoning. Logic and emotions go hand in hand. Logic taking a backseat over utility. Sir, uh, most suitable explanation, right? That will be option C, right? Because see, the author critiques the tendency of parents, right, to prioritize convenience over rational thinking, right? He critiques about that parents choose convenience over rational thinking, right, over rational decision making by giving smartphones to adolescents, right? This reflects a situation where practically this reflects a situation where practicality outweighs, right, thoughtful consideration, right? Your practicality is going to outweigh thoughtful consideration. So option C will be the correct answer here, logic taking a backseat over utility. All right. Now after this, we had this circular seating arrangement based question, but this particular question contains ambiguity, right? So I apologize, but we will not be giving you solution to this particular question until we get the official answer key, because in this particular question there is ambiguity involved, right? So I am withholding the solution of this particular set because I don't agree with the language, and once the official answer key would be there, right, let's see what um, like uh, they say, and then I'm going to update you with the solution of this particular set, right? So till then, right, please exempt me from giving you this solution. So let's go to the next passage, right? There is ambiguity, let me explain it to you again. There is ambiguity in the question, right? So I'm withholding the solutions to that particular set, right? And I apologize on behalf I apologize, right, uh, for not giving you the solution, but I want to give you the correct one. Once the answer key gets uploaded, I'll definitely update you. Now, next question, being a consultant, your work consists of deep examination of the company's environment and its internal system to notice inefficiencies and potential improvements. The interaction with the company's management and different sections to decipher their objective, opportunities and processes. This means that through the use of data analysis, industries, best practices and the formulation of creative ways of solving all problems to come up with unique solutions to all problems to increase efficiency and productivity, and hence increase profitability for employers. This might entail operations such as logistics redesign, business process in reengineering, adopting new applications, systems, or even community relation programs. People management is a critical component of change management to make sure that all the relevant parties interpret the potential alterations positively, also to offer orientation and create resources to explain the changes to the group and make it comfortable with the shift. The general goal is the organization's ability to continue to grow and remain relevant with the shareholders and stakeholders in the industries it operates. All right. So now, what is the primary responsibility of you being a company's efficient consultant? Right, that is analyzing the organization structure, processes, and market position. Because see, being a consultant, your work consists of a deep examination of company's environment and its internal system to notice inefficiencies and potential improvements. So option A will be correct. Right, analyzing the organization structure, processes, and market position. Next one, with whom does a consultant work closely to understand a company's goal as a challenge, right? Manage higher management and various departments. That was in the next line, right? So very easy one. The interaction with the company's management and different sections to decipher their objective, opportunities, and processes, right? So option B will be correct. This was easy. Imagine yourself as a consultant and find what methods you will use to develop customized solutions. Sir, this was also given in the next part of the passage. See, this means that through the use of data analysis, industry's best practice, and the formulation of creative ways of solving all problems to come up with unique solutions to all the problems to increase efficiency and productivity and hence increase profitability for employers. Right. So imagine yourself a consultant and find what methods you will use to develop customized solutions. Intuition and guesswork, no. Social media trends, no. Random selection, no. Data analysis, industry's best practice, and innovative strategies, right? So this was somewhat easy. All right. Which of the following might a consultant optimize to improve company efficiency, right? So that was also in the passage. See, this might entail, because if I go to the next part, this might entail operations such as logistics redesign, business process reengineering, adopting new application systems, or even community relations program, right? So like how you are going to optimize to improve company's efficiency, that was right logistics redesign, and logistics redesign means supply chain management, right? So you are going to optimize to improve, you are going to optimize supply chain management. Office decoration, employees dress code, lunch menus, that was never spoke about, right? So here answer will be this one. Next one, why is the communication the most relevant thing for a consultant? Right, now people management is a critical component of change management to make sure that all relevant parties interpret the potential alterations positively, right? So he's saying that people management is a critical component, right? So that of change management, so that all the people, right, all the relevant parties interpret the potential alterations positively. So why communication, right? Why communication is the most relevant thing for a consultant? To ensure all stakeholders understand the proposed change, because all relevant parties should understand the potential changes, right? So option A will be correct. Next one, so this passage, I hope ये passage आपने बिल्कुल सही किया होगा, right? None of your attempt would have been wrong here. What additional support might a consultant provide to help the team adapt to new processes, right? Training and support. What additional support might a consultant provide to help the team adapt new processes? Training and support. Right. Also to offer orientation and create resources to explain the changes to the group and make it comfortable with the shift. Right. So like offer orientation. Orientation means training, right? Create resources, that means providing support to them, right? Creating resources means that means providing support to them, so that to explain the changes to the group, so that the changes can be explained to the group and make it comfortable with the shift. So what additional support a consultant might give? Training and support. Option B would be correct. Right. All right, let's go to the next passage. where it says, while a majority of homeless groups exist solely in modernized cultures, homelessness remains a problem throughout the world. Everywhere there are people in constant search of food, water, and shelter. Many of these people have nowhere to go and can find no end or relief to their suffering. Homelessness was originally believed to be a cultural problem, but it is now revealing itself as a global problem. It is a problem suffered by all of humanity and must be faced and solved as such. Although this problem exists everywhere, it is more severe in certain parts of the world due to the differing circumstances of homelessness around the world. There can be no one solution or one set of guidelines for everyone to follow. Even the United States constantly struggles with homelessness despite being one of the wealthiest countries in the world. According to a 2005 survey by the United Nations, 1.6 billion people lack adequate housing. The causes vary depending on the place and person. Common reasons include a lack of affordable housing, poverty, and lack of mental health services, and more. Homelessness is rooted in systematic failures that fail to protect those who are most vulnerable. Approximately 5,80,000 people experience homelessness on any given night in the United States, as stated by the Housing and Urban Development Department of the United States. The number of individuals experiencing homelessness varies by region, with urban areas experiencing higher rates of homelessness, right, compared to rural areas. The COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated homelessness and housing insecurity, leading to an increased rates of eviction, unemployment, and housing instability. Using social distancing measures to curb viruses transmission has presented difficulties for homeless shelters and service providers in maintaining their capacity. The economic fallout from the pandemic has further strained resources and support systems for individuals and families experiences homelessness. All right, so based on this passage, what questions we had, let's talk about that. For the above paragraph, which of the following statements is true? When people in industrialized civilizations think of homelessness, they generally imagine third world countries where poverty is rampant. Generally, the impoverished are thought to exist in third world countries only, but they are present even in largest cities of the world, right? Homelessness increases due to major turbulence on economic and cultural aspects. See, my passage talked about that homelessness is present in both developed and developing countries, right? And he gave me an example that homelessness is even present in United States. Even the United States constantly struggles with homelessness despite being one of the wealthiest countries in the world, right? So from the above passage, option B we can infer to be true, right? That generally the impoverished are thought to exist in third world countries only, but they are present even in the largest cities of the world, right? That means they are present in both developing as well as in developed countries, right? And he, to support that, he gave the example of United States, that even homelessness is present in United States despite being the wealthiest country in the world, right? So option B will be correct here. Next one, there are several causes of homelessness. Which of the following is least likely a cause of homelessness? Violence in the home, loss of job or income, substance abuse, proper health care, right? See, the causes vary depending on the place and person. Common reasons of homelessness include lack of affordable housing, poverty, and lack of mental health services, and more, right? So the reasons include lack of affordable housing, poverty, and lack of mental health services, right? And now see, violence in home, loss of job or income, substance abuse, they are directly related, right? They are directly related to homelessness. But proper health care, right, proper healthcare was not proper healthcare was not mentioned as a cause, right? Proper healthcare was not mentioned as a cause, and we have to find out like the one which is least likely to be a cause of homelessness. So this will be correct. These three, option A, B, and C, they are directly related to homelessness: violence in home, substance abuse, right, loss of job or income, right? Because poverty, you are going to get poverty because of loss of job, right, or income. Next one, homelessness in case of mental illness can be amplified because of the following reasons, right? The stress of being homeless may exacerbate previous mental illness and encourage anxiety, fear, depression, sleeplessness, and substance use. People with mental illness remain homeless for longer periods of time and have less contact with family and friends. Poor mental health predisposes individuals to homelessness, and homelessness exposes individuals further to particularly severe health problems. Right. See, COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated homelessness and housing insecurity, leading to increased rate of eviction, unemployment, and housing instability. Right. Using social distancing measures to curb virus transmission has presented difficulties for homeless shelters and service providers in maintaining their capacity. Right. So, for this particular part of the passage, see, and it was also said, because I read one more point. Affordable housing, poverty, mental health services. See, homelessness is rooted in systematic failure that fails to protect those who are most vulnerable. Right. So, passage clearly states that it happens because of homelessness is because of systematic failure. Right. So, for this question, all the above would be your correct answer. All the above. Right, because passage clearly states that mental illness, right, and homelessness are interlinked. Right, mental illness and homelessness are interlinked. It describes how homeless can never exacerbate, right, how homeless can never exacerbate mental illness. Right, how homelessness can exacerbate mental illness. Sorry, I used the word never. How homelessness can exacerbate mental illness. Right, so D option will be the correct one here. Next one. So next question, homelessness in reference to the above paragraph can be observed most closely in the form of inadequate entertainment avenues, no. Shortage of appropriate clothing, no. Right, poor prospects for unemployment, no. Inadequate medical services, yes. Right, because see, he talked about that the passage discussed how mental health, right, is linked to systematic failure, including, right, uh, inadequate medical services. Right, so option D will be correct, that here inadequate mental services, because lack of mental health services. Right, he clearly mentions that lack of mental health services is available, which uh, like in makes homelessness, right, more prone. So option D will be correct, that inadequate medical services, because inadequate entertainment avenues were not the reason, shortage of appropriate clothing was not the reason, poor prospects for employment were not the main reason. Right, so here option D, like if you would have used option elimination approach, right, you could have easily found the answer. So it is most closely in the form of inadequate medical services, because it is linked to mental health, being mental illness. Approximately how many people in America are currently experiencing homelessness on any given day? Right. See, approximately 5,80,000 people experience homelessness on any given night in the United States. As stated by this, the number of individuals experiencing homelessness varies by region, with urban areas experiencing higher rates compared to rural areas. Right. So correct answer will be 3.5 million. However, the passage does not explicitly gives me this data, but 5,80,000 is nearly right, is a nightly figure. Right, and over the course of year, the total number of people experiences homelessness could be estimated around 3.5, could be estimated. Right, so like since 5,80,000 was the nightly figure to 3.5 million, I would select 3.5 million. Next one, which of the following is not a myth about people experiencing homelessness? People who are homeless choose to be so by themselves. Right, people experiencing homelessness are lazy. All people who experiences homelessness are addicts. People experiences homelessness find it difficult to obtain a job. Option D will be correct. Right, Here this option would have been correct. That passage does not suggest that finding a job, right, is the issue for homeless people, right? He does not suggest that finding a job is a issue for homeless people. So people experiences homelessness find it difficult to obtain a job, right? Is not a myth about people experiences homelessness, right? And A, B, C are stereotypes, right? Option A, B, C are stereotypes with homelessness. So option A, B, C would not be my answer. Option D will be. So with this particular question, right, we conclude your logical reasoning as well, right? And I hope all the solutions that I discussed with you in logical reasoning, you also agree with them, right? Your attempts would have been correct, and by now you know the answers. So match it up, and all the best for your future endeavors, right? And I wish you all the luck, right? And I would like to congratulate you in advance as well, because your attempt would, I know it would had been great. And those of you who are going to attempt for next year, right, who are preparing for the next year, sir, I have an announcement for you. Drishti Judiciary is launching your CLAT 2026 preparation batch, right? What Actually, we are launching two batches. One is a weekend batch that is going to be starting on 14th of December, right? It will be an offline batch at Karol Bagh Center. You can access this batch through an online mode via Drishti Learning app. And there will be a second batch which will be a weekday batch that is going to start from 16th of December. It will also be an offline batch at Karol Bagh Center, and you can access this batch also through online medium via Drishti Learning app, right? For more information, sir, you can visit our website www.drishtijudiciary.com/ right CLAT course, right? So with this, I would like to take a leave, and again wish you all the very best luck, right? And those who are going to prepare for the next year, sir, I wish you people also a very good luck for your preparation and good well-being. So thank you so much for watching this session, right? Jai Hind.